All right, we are live, and look at that, exactly at 3 o'clock in the morning. Hello, I already see people are here, which is a promising thing, so thank you for that. This is the 10th of August, 2018, currently 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hello, Timothy, Fernando, Anime, Goomba, and yeah, this guy never sleeps, definitely true. Corey, Maxwell, always a pleasure. This is one of those Up Late with WLC, we love comics. And my name is Chris, just got home from work a little while ago, do DJing, karaoke DJing Thursday nights, and I figured while I'm up, might as well do a little bit of a video for some unboxing of comics. Now before I start, one of the things that I mentioned that I would do for people if they were interested, and hello Jan and Timothy, I said if anybody has a business that's within, within reason, like, somebody asked me if I would do an adult, like a strip club kind of thing, and that's something I really just don't want to promote, because I have children here, but somebody asked me if I could promote their business really quick, so I just want to show this really quick. I have no problem doing this, and like I said, I don't charge anybody. This is just something that I do that's nice, but they wrote a little bit of a story, so if you can, try and keep it a little bit shorter. But I'm going to read this. It's a person that asked me. They said they're a web comic writer slash artist, and they have a website. It's called Shawnee Poo. It's S as in Sam, EANY Poo.com. If you want to check them out, please do. Help support some local artists. As you could see here, the website. So I'm leaving this up a little bit if you want to pause it and read the whole thing. He talks about if you use a promo code, which is August 2018, you'll receive 15% off of their order. So I thought that was pretty nice. So anybody that wants me to do that, I have no problem with promoting somebody's business. And again, like I said, I'm not charging anything for this. So go check them out, and no problem. Just message me if you want me to do something like that. All right, so we see we got a bunch of people already here, so let's put on the camera. What's up, Undisputed? And Corey says today is his birthday today, so happy birthday. Hopefully you are at least 21, so you could celebrate the right way. And I have 3 boxes I'm going to do unboxing. 2 of them are newer comics. And actually, all 3 are newer comics, but they are actually, some of them are pretty valuable. So let's get right into it. So stick around. I also do a surprise subscriber shout out. So if you want to do that, just to participate, the more you comment, the more you will get my attention. And don't forget to hit the like button, because I always do appreciate the support. So with that being said, let's start getting into these unboxings. Now, I just got a message from PGX about this month's, actually technically it's already last month's, books that are on their way. They're the ones that are going to be the first ever comics that have the graders notes on the back of the book. They said there was a little bit of a delay because of 2 things. They said, one, this time of year with Comic-Con, there's a lot of people, sending in their books to get graded, so that's backing it up a little bit. Plus, they said with this new thing with the graders notes on the back, they want to make sure they got it right because they had to redo the whole back of their slabs. So I don't mind that at all. So they said they're going to be mailing it out tomorrow. So I should be getting them sometime next week. And if this is something that's a trial basis, if people want to do it, they have to just be a subscriber to my channel. And then all you have to do is it's $5 to get them graded per book. So there's a code in the description. It's called We Love Comics Graders Notes. So if you want to do it, you're more than welcome. All right. Now I have 2 others coming on their way for this book. This one I paid a little bit more than the other 2, but that's all right. Oh yeah, I already got a thumb down already. It doesn't surprise me. Guys, don't even worry about it at this point. I'm used to it, and they're not smart enough to know that it actually helps build traffic to my channel, so they're actually helping my channel. So let them vent their frustrations. I mean, I honestly don't care. But let's show the first book, and that was nice. They put it in a top loader. This is Infinity Wars issue, trying to get the glare, issue number 1. This is a 1 in 25 variant. And this is the quote-unquote, well, you know what? I'm not going to say what it is because I don't know if anybody's, you know, not had the chance to read this, and I don't want to spoil it for them. So there is a situation that happens in here. I won't reveal it. Nobody put it in the description just in case. I don't want to spoil it. But I paid, with shipping and handling, $32.75. This looks really good. And, you know, we'll see where these characters go. Hopefully they'll continue to do something with them and they won't be just like one and done kind of characters. So let's see if we got anything. Goomba says, thumbs down mean you're doing something right. Yeah, I must be doing something really right because, you know, I average now about 6 or 7 thumbs down. But like I said, I don't care. Let them vent their frustration. I look at it this way. You know, with somebody being, those people being that angry all the time, you know, better them vent their frustrations out on me than committing a crime like robbing an old lady or something like that. So, you know, if I got to take one for the team, that's fine. So, I appreciate those who thumb them up because those are the real subscribers. Those people are crybaby wannabes, so I appreciate you all. Now, this is another new book, and you guys know I love when they tape the living daylights into these because it makes it that much more exciting to get the book out. So they did put an extra backing board. Now, if you ever get books where you get extra backing boards, don't throw these out. Save them, because there are times if somebody puts, you know, let me see. Okay, so they put a backing board in there. So they gave me 2 extra backing boards. Like, if you ever have a book where you want to give it a little more stability, save these, and then you can put them in the back of the book, giving them a little bit more support. So I have a couple of videos like that. Check my tips for videos on how you can save money and do all these different things to help secure your comics a little bit. Wilson Fisk says, what's my other channel about? It's what you would call kind of like a truther channel. I've been researching stuff like law and things like that for, well, probably since about 2011. So I'm pretty darn good at it. I just usually don't promote it here because it has nothing to do with these things here. That's what started the problem from my original channel. For some reason, they have a problem with what I have the right to do on another channel. I just never promoted it. So if you go on my Facebook page for We Love Comics, if you want to know what the other channel is, I'll be more than happy to mention it to you. But fighting crime just like Batman. Exactly. All right, so this is another book. This is one of those. I absolutely love this cover. Love this character. I hope they do something with him. I have a couple of copies of this, but I had to get another one. This is Teen Titans issue number 12. Of course, this is the first appearance of Batman Who Laughs, which is right here. And I paid $34.95 for this book. Absolutely love this cover. Love this character. Again, this looks pretty darn good. Now, if you notice something here, cats are going crazy. There's a thing where a lot of new comics have the free digital comics. Now, somebody asked me about this, and I think this is pretty important to mention. If somebody removes the comic code, because a lot of them come, they're a sticker. If you remove them and get them graded, it actually will not come back a green label. It will come back a blue label, but they will mention that that sticker is missing. Because I actually had that with one of my Edge of Spider-Verse 2 comics. Now, it came back at 9.6. It was the only one of mine that came back at 9.6. And it was one of the 15 comics I sold a couple years ago. So I don't know if that lowered the grade to a 9.6 or it was going to be that way anyway. But it did come back with a blue label. But they did mention that it did not have that code. So if you get a new book, make sure you check to see if that code's in there, because that can lower the value of the comic I mean, not by much, but hey, you know, you want to make sure you're getting what you pay for. And maybe even the seller doesn't know, so don't be afraid to ask. Because a lot of people that sell books on eBay, they never even open the book. And I always hate when they use that excuse of, oh, I didn't know. Well, nobody stopped you from not looking into the book and checking it out. So if they didn't know, that's, you know, their fault. All right, so this is the last one. Yeah, the Paul, the Batman Who Laughs. I absolutely love that cover. I really hope they continue to use that character. I think I heard rumors that that's exactly what they're going to do. That of all of the ones that were in that Metal tie-in series, that they are actually going to continue to use Batman Who Laughs somehow. That's a good sign. So that might be a book you want to pick up if you haven't had the chance. There's also a couple of variants. So you could get those fairly cheap at this point because people always move on. You know, it's like what I say, call it the flavor of the month. Hello, Uncanny Kyle Waka. Welcome. What I mean by flavor of the month means that once a comic comes out, all of a sudden something else will come up, and people automatically, they forget about it, and they move on. So that's the best time to get the book. All right, so we have 3 books here, and of course, I love this tape. Check out my playlist on this stuff. There's an easier way to mail comics without having to go through all this tape. And because, I mean, especially when they use this thicker tape, when you're trying to peel it off, you can end up bending the comic. So be careful with that. All right, so here's the 3 comics I got for the last part. So I have the entire run, but I got this for one specific book. This is Walking Dead, issue number 18. And these look to be in really good condition. This book roughly goes for about $35, $40. You can see here, it's got that indent. That means somebody placed all the comics the same direction, and because this side's thicker, it actually, after a while, presses down and compresses and causing that little indent. Pressings always help that because normally it doesn't break color when it does that. It's just annoying. They didn't mention that when I've got the book, but, you know, I don't care. Like I said, I can have it pressed. Then we have, all right, this one didn't get affected, so far just that one. This is issue Walking Dead number 20. And yes, my White Nova says, is my Walking Dead number 1 graded? It is graded, and it was signed by Charlie Adler. Issue 1 and issue 7 were both signed. It was a complete set I bought at the time. I bought, it was issue 1 through about 142, somewhere around there, 141, and a bunch of variants. And issue 1 and 7 were signed. I sent that into PGX because they do signature verification, and it came back at 9.4. So I paid $3,000 for the entire set, and I think that's a pretty good deal. So that was issue number 20. This, again, is about a $30 comic book. I love The Walking Dead. You know, I'm a little upset with what's happening with Rick Grimes, but here's my theory on this, and I don't know anything about this, so I don't know it to be true, so, you know, take it with a grain of salt. I don't think they're going to kill him off. I think they're going to do something where he's going to disappear, or you're going to think he's dead, and maybe he needs a year off to be with his family, and I really think that they will find a way to have him come back. Because honestly, without him on the show, it'll maybe last another season at best. Unless they merge the, you know, Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead. But even with that, most of the main characters on Fear and Walking Dead are all dead too. So who knows what they're going to do. I really hope that they don't kill off Rick Grimes and maybe it ends up that he just wants to take a break for a little while. That's what I'm hoping for. Because there was one time, there's a tweet that they had, or something on Instagram or something, where they said, they showed Rick Grimes in a picture of Rick Grimes in a car, and the caption was, "Don't believe everything that you hear." So that made me a little suspicious, and I hope that's the case, where it's kind of left open-ended, So if he wants to come back, he can. All right, so we got the last book, and it's got a minor indent, but again, it can be pressed. Looks like it'd probably be a 9.6, but this is the last one. This is now my third copy of this book. This is Walking Dead issue number 19, and you can see this is the actual issue. It's not Walking Dead Weekly. That's the first appearance of Michonne. And as you can see right here, this is the reason why I bought this. And nobody else bid on it, which is shocking, because they just showed 18, 19, and 20. There were people, the seller was selling a bunch of these in groups of 3. This was the only one that had a signed book. And I've seen Robert Kirkman's signature many a time. So this book alone would be about, signed, would be about $175 to $200 in a 9.4 to a 9.6 grade. I got these, it came out to, what is it, about $109. No, I'm sorry, $159. So it came out to $53.39 a piece. So obviously those, I mean, if you average it out, but I would consider this a little bit more expensive. But I've never had a Robert Kirkman. I've had Charlie Adler's signature, but I've never had a Robert Kirkman. He's got the most ridiculous signature. I mean, look at this. I'll put it a little closer. It's like such chicken scratch. You would have no idea what that was. And to be honest, it would actually be pretty hard to duplicate that because it's such scribble. That would be just really hard to duplicate. But like I said, I tell people all the time, you know, people say, how do you know if these signatures are you know, real? Well, no one's going to be 100%, but all you have to do is you look on a CGC yellow labeled book. And the reason I say use CGC is they do signature witness. So they have to be there. And all you have to do is compare signatures and get a general idea. Now, obviously, no two signatures are going to be exactly the same because obviously if you wrote your name 50 times, it's not going to look the same all 50 times. But you'll get a general idea of where the loops are and where they start the pen and things like that. So do your own research and you'll be able to tell if a signature is real or not. And so far, knock on wood, every single one that I've eyed and seen to be genuine, I've sent in for signature verification, and every one of them has come back authentic. So just do your research. So like I said, I paid $53.39 a piece for those. I love Michonne. I think it's a great character. I mean, this cover, I mean, that's such an amazing cover. And even with, if the Walking Dead show, and if he supposedly dies, you know, this is a character that's going to be, I mean, it's an iconic character for a modern age comic. And also keep in mind, the comic book is still going, so even if the show ends up off the air, which eventually is going to happen anyway, the comic book is still going to go strong because Robert Kirkman says he's at least going to do 300 issues. So you still got a couple years to go. Who knows, it might continue, we'll have to see. But I want to make sure I have every single comic. So those are the books. Let me just see if there's any questions. Let's see. Isn't Don a huge fan of yours? I don't know which Don you're talking about. Let's see. White Nova says, awesome, I met Charlie a few times at London cons. He's a top guy. It's funny, he must go, Charlie Adler must go to London a lot because a couple of signed books that I bought from eBay all came from England. So I guess he must go there often. Alright, so we're going to do the surprise subscriber shout out. And you know what? I have to do it for the birthday boy. So Corey Maxwell, since today is your birthday, I don't know if you're still listening. Hopefully you are. I wanted to do the surprise subscriber shout out for you. White Nova says, that's where CGC fall down a little. I think they should do the same as CBCS and PGX. I'm not sure what you're talking about. But, I mean, each one is, it's got its own pluses and minuses. That's why I always tell people, it's like, if you want to go by what's popular all the time, that's fine. But I always say, use what works best for you. I mean, if you're doing it just to slab them and save money, well, PGX is the cheapest. That would be the smartest. If you're looking to turn around and sell them for the highest price possible really quick, well, CGC is the best way you're going to go. But, I mean, if you already have a book that's signed, CGC is the wrong one to send it to, because you won't get the yellow label. You'll actually get a green label that's qualified that says writing on the front cover. So then you'd have only two choices, either PGX or CBCS. So make sure you do your research. It depends on how fast you want them, why you're getting them slabbed. So I have a video that talks about my honest review of all three. I am not a hater of any of them. There are, pluses and minuses. I mean, one of the big minuses with CGC right now is what they like to call almost the rings of death. Those, it looks like little oil spills all over the covers. CBCS and PGX don't have that problem. PGX has had their problems in the past, and they're trying to work it out right now. They actually listened to my idea about the grader's notes, so I think they're trying to go their best way. But they've had problems in the past, make no mistake. CBCS takes forever. I mean, it takes like 5 or 6 months to get your comics from them sometimes. So it really depends on what you're looking for. Lex says, hey, Chris, do you have Kirkman's other series, Invincible? I wish I did. I think I have issue 50, and that's it. I've been trying to get issue number 1, but there are people that want like anywhere from $800 to $1,000 for that book, and I'm just not about to spend $1,000 on a modern book. I mean, whether it makes a movie or not, even if they make a movie, I think it's going to be a one-and-done kind of thing. These other characters, and I tell people, be careful even with the Valiant stuff, because yes, you're going to have Van Diesel playing, Bloodshot, but most people don't know who Bloodshot is. So, Cold has been blocked. Why is he blocked? Cold who? Because I haven't blocked anybody. I have no idea what that means. But anyway, oh, you have issue 1 through 100? Hold on to those. Hopefully you didn't pay a lot for it. But if I find a deal, I'll get one. But if I have $1,000 to spend, I'm not spending it on, that kind of book. I would rather get like an early Amazing Spider-Man, or one of the books that I'm absolutely looking for. It's on my radar and I'm trying to get it. It's just very difficult because it's very expensive. Is Fantastic Four issue number 4, which is the first Silver Age appearance of the Submariner. I have his first, what is it? The Tales of Suspense issue number 107. But the Fantastic Four number 4 is a book I've been wanting for a couple of years now. And I actually won it. It was like a 7.0, and I won it for $430. And inconveniently for me, but convenient for the seller, they said they no longer had it. And they never honored the bid. That happens every now and then, but that would have been a steal. But that's one of the books I want to get, especially before they make the first Fantastic Four movie, because I think eventually you're going to see Submariner. I guess it depends on how good Aquaman is, because you know how companies like to kind of, copy each other. So, we got the... Oh, Corey, you're there? Corey Maxwell, I don't know if you heard it, but I gave you the surprise subscriber shout-out because it's your birthday today. Yeah, Strange Tales 107 is a early appearance of... what is it? Of Human Torch. But let me see. Captain Cold, he used to hang out with Chaz, and he tried to comment and can't. I don't know why he's blocked. Somebody send me the link to his channel, and I'll unblock him. I don't know why he's blocked. Because I'll fix that really quick. Oh, good, Corey, you saw it. May we ask how old you are? Or is that something you don't want to talk about? Yeah, if somebody has Captain Cold's link to his channel, just post it here and I'll unblock it. I don't know why he's blocked. I've never had a problem with him. But Captain Cold, if you're listening, I don't know why you're blocked. Let me see if I can fix that. Let me see if I can find it. So I apologize. I don't know why. Maybe I was trying to reach for somebody else, and it happened to go to him. I'm not sure. But let me go to his channel. The problem is when you type in Captain Cold, you get nothing but the DC character. If somebody could send me the link to his channel, alright, Undisputed Frost said he'll send it. Just put it here right in the live show. Because I have to approve it. But I have no problem with that. And Corey turned 28. To be in my 20s again. To be in my 30s again. Soon I'll be out of my 40s. November 9th, I will be turning 48 years old. So happy birthday, Corey. Nice of you to spend your birthday, part of it, with us. And, yeah, Knights of Old says Namor versus Torch, classic Kirby, Strange Tale 107. He sent it to me on YouTube Messenger. Let me see. You could have posted it here. It would have been no problem. I mean, if anything, somebody would be able to subscribe to him if they wanted to. It's not coming up. Do me a favor, copy and paste it and put it here in the live show. Because it's not coming up. Gotta love YouTube sometimes. Cole's Walking Dead says, what's your most expensive comic book, and are you going to do a comic book collection? Don't know what you mean by, am I going to do a comic book collection? I have a couple of videos showing my most expensive ones, but my absolute most expensive book would be X-Men #1. It's a CGC 3.0. Well, you can't send live links. You can't send links in the chat. I have to approve it. Or maybe you can't. No, they changed the policy on that. Alright, I'll try and figure it out later. I'll try and find his channel. Again, I don't know why he's blocked, because I've never had a problem with him. I mean, he used to come on my show with when I used to do the auctions. And unless there's something I don't know about. But I'll try and find him. I'll look for that message later. For some reason, it's not coming up. But yeah, my X-Men #1 3.0 is my most expensive. I paid $2,000 for that book. I got it sometime last year. And Jason says, is first appearance of Harley Quinn in the Spanish edition worth anything? Well, it's worth something, but nothing compared to the U.S. version. I've seen people trying to sell that for like $200-300, and nobody buys it. So, Fernando says, what's your opinion on the current comic book prices going up? I absolutely hate it. I think $5.99 for a cover is absolutely ridiculous. Like I was saying earlier today, if you haven't seen my must-have comics, because I totally forgot the other day was Wednesday, so I did the video today. And about a month ago, one of my subscribers told me there was going to be some kind of special appearance or first appearance in the Fantastic Four book. So I called my comic book shop and told them to hold 2 of them for me. At the time, I didn't know what the price was. So they put 2 in my pull list. And when I saw $5.99, I really wanted to put them back. But, you know, my comic book store, they, you know, it's the only one within 30 miles, and they've been pretty good to me. And they, you know, when you put something on a pull list, they order extra. And when they have all those variants, especially the 1 in 100s and stuff, they have to order a lot of them. So I didn't want to be a jerk and put them back, so I bought them. But I hate the fact $5.99. That's absolutely ridiculous, and it's going to kill the industry. Because especially if you're a kid and you don't have a lot of money, I mean, you're talking buying 10 books at that price is $60. That's ridiculous. So, poor job on Marvel's behalf. I mean, a lot of it is advertisement. The books are, you know, very thin most of the time. I just don't like that trend. Undisputed Frost says, my bad, he hates Chaz, but sorry, but you know who I'm talking about. Oh, I don't hate Chaz. that whole situation between you and I and everything, the only thing I had a problem with is Chaz when he put the title of the video saying Chris takes over the show and drama, and look at all the drama. Because all the people have to do is actually watch the video. I didn't take over the show. He actually asked me to because he had to go walk or feed his dog. I mean, this was a year and a half ago, and I still remember it like yesterday. He asked me, it was him and I basically talking back and forth, and he said, you know, I have to go do something with my dog. You know, can you take over the show? So that's exactly what I did. So I kind of don't like the clickbait, but other than that, I don't have a problem with him. I actually messaged Chaz like 3 or 4 months ago because I haven't seen him on. He hasn't been active on his channel for a while. Oh, Cold hates Chaz. Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but Chaz is. I mean, he's a nice guy. His heart's in the right place, but I think, you know, that whole situation. I think he kind of enjoyed the fact that when I went to his channel, it would help him get views, and I think he kind of took advantage. Oh, there you go, Captain Cold. Dude, do me a favor, when you get the chance, message me the link to your channel, because for some reason, I don't know why you're blocked. It's just weird. But I'm glad you're here, man. If you have any questions, please. Chaz is an awful human. Well, I personally don't have a problem with him. I mean, there were times where I was kind of wondering if he was having me there to help with, you know, helping his channel, which I didn't mind. Chaz is in prison. No, well, I guess if you're in prison, well, I don't know if that's true or not, so he is really in jail? For what? That would explain why he disappeared. Wow, this is news. Huh. A couple of people verifying that Chaz is in prison. Yeah, because I was wondering whatever happened to him. He just, like, fell off the face of the earth. I haven't seen him in months make a video on his channel, and I messaged him twice. I figured maybe he was mad at me or something and just didn't want to respond, but, wow, that sucks. I mean, does anybody know what happened, or is that something we shouldn't be discussing on a live show? I mean, wow. Yeah, that's not good. And considering the situation and my point of view with the whole other people, and I won't get into that here, Captain Cold Gaming says, either way, big shout out to you for getting me on YouTube. Evan appreciates it. Oh, I'm glad about that. There have actually been a lot of people that have started YouTube channels with comic books because of my inspiration, and that means a lot to me. That's why it's like, you know, back in 2016, when I was getting ganged up on and I was getting all these people and saying all this stuff and making all these accusations, back then I took everything so personally because I was blown away by the fact that I was making comic book channel videos and people were attacking me that badly. I mean, some of the lies. I mean, there was one time where I was on Chaz's live stream and people were accusing me of having these fake accounts. And then, finally, somebody that was making the troll accounts, I guess, felt so bad that they came on to the live show and admitted that it wasn't me and it was them. And people were still like, oh, well, isn't Chris could be typing. So I actually did the video with my hands up in the air so you could see somebody typing, and my hands were in the air, and people still thought that somehow, I guess maybe I was using my feet to type or something. So, I never really understood some of the hate I get. I mean, I really want to try and help people. I don't do everything perfectly, but my heart has always been in the right place, and I don't understand why some people are just so relentless. I mean, there are people who want to wish me physical harm. You know, that to me, that's keyboard warrior stuff, and I don't really care about it. But back in 2016, I let it get to me. And I think it was because of some of the people that were on my live shows that admitted they were using me just to sell their comics. And there were a couple people that did that. And to me, like, I'm old school Sicilian Italian. I'm one of those people, if you have a problem with somebody, you kind of do it face to face. And for them to stab me in the back like that really just, you know, twisted the knife. But I'll never let stuff like that bother me again. I mean, some of those people that were talking about that, still to this day talk about me. And I won't even mention any of their names because they're insignificant for me. Fun fact, Frost helped design the PGX label. Yeah, he told me about that. So, Undisputed and I have been responsible for the PGX labels. So you got the front part and I got the back part. That sounds a little sick. So never mind. So anyway, those books, the PGX books, I'm so looking forward to it. Because I think the books that I sent in, it's been so while I forgot. I think one of them is Amazing Spider-Man 129. Another one is my second Daredevil issue #1. The other is my Action Comics 252, which is first Supergirl. And I think the fourth one was Iron Man issue #1. So I definitely picked the right month to send in those comics. Now, like the Daredevil one, I think that's like a 1.0. It was one I bought for like 54 bucks. The others are going to be all lower grades, but I don't care. I am so looking forward to seeing it because I think it gives the fact that you could get the greatest notes on the books can really get you to understand why you got the grade that you got. And I kind of think it makes the companies a little bit more responsible. Like, they can't just say, oh, it's a 9.2 and then not tell you why. So I'm really looking forward to it. And they should be arriving in the next week. But the good part is I already sent my other books in for this month. So there might only be like a 2-week gap in between videos. So that works for me. Let me see if there's anything else. John says, should I be cautious when buying on eBay when it says stock photo? Let's put it this way. Ask questions. Look at the person's rating. See if they have a high rating. See if it's 100%. Big thing. Trust your instincts. But here's the thing on eBay that I never worry about. I mean, if you watch my videos, I've had box after box that have been destroyed, damaged in the mail due to seller's neglect. I've had people try and be dishonest. I've had people send me books that were nothing like they described. I would say probably 60 to 70 books I've bought on eBay had to be returned. But every single one of them I got my money back. So don't let them trick you. You have 30 days eBay buyer protection. You have 6 months if you pay by PayPal. So utilize them. But don't be afraid to ask questions. And I usually stay away from the auctions that just have a stock photo, because then you'll never know what the comic really is. So I always take the chance, because if it's not what they said it was, I return it, get my money back. But if it was and I get a good deal, then I'm glad I took the chance. A lot of people are afraid to do these things. If you know about like contract law, if you know how eBay works, if you don't let them intimidate you, you'll be fine. I've had sellers that wrote on their auction, no refunds. I've had people email me saying, you're not getting your money back. I've had people be really nasty and rude. I even had one that purposely said, I tricked you, and I got my money back every time. So take the chance. It's annoying sometimes where you have to be inconvenienced, but for every one time something bad happens, there's 50 times where something good happens. So, I mean, you saw the comics that I showed earlier in this video. They all ended up okay, even when they put them in these, you know, subpar packages. And a lot of times what I do is, and you can see they don't always listen, but I tell people when I buy something, I say, can you put it, you know, with several pieces of cardboard on both sides to keep it from getting damaged? And I kind of go into an explanation as to why, and a lot of them will do it. So don't be afraid to communicate with the seller. And I tell people all the time, even when it comes to sellers that have a buy it now, but they don't have a best offer, sometimes I contact them. You know, a few times they'll be like, well, I didn't have a best offer, and they're rude. Some people just ignore it. Some people kindly, respectfully say no, and once in a blue moon, somebody says, you know what, I'll do it. So, squeaky wheel gets the grease. So let's see. Lex says, hey, Chris, do you go out in the wild and hunt for books? Finding a gem in the dollar bins for cover price is awesome. Honestly, I just don't have the patience for that. To me, one of the things I love about eBay is I could be here at 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning. I can go on eBay. I could search for something that is all around the world. Like I have a book that's coming that I won yesterday with that 15% off sale. It's coming from Australia. And that's actually not my first time I've ordered from somebody from Australia. So I get to order all around the world. They mail it to me. And I don't have to waste my day sitting around for hours in those boxes. Now, this is the one thing I tell people. There is no wrong way to collect. So if you have fun, if you're one of those people that likes to go and do that treasure hunt kind of experience, where you're actually going through maybe thousands of books to find that one needle in the haystack, if you think that's fun, then absolutely do it. Just for me, to me, time is money. You know, I have my own massage business. I have my own karaoke DJ business. I also make and sell organic soaps and things like that. Like this, I make even like these necklaces. This is a crappy version of it, but it's the stone why I wear it, where I wear this one. Actually, I'll show you really quick one of the necklaces I've made. Give me a second. I actually make and sell these, and I make a whole bunch of them, but this is one of the necklaces I've made. And it's got actual copper and actual silver. It's got a whole bunch of different types of stones in it. Malachite. The center here is actually a double terminated quartz crystal. There's angelite, there's shungite, there's kyanite. A little bit on the heavy side, but there's a lot of expensive stones in this. But I make a whole bunch of stuff like that. So I do that. I make organic soaps and deodorants and things like that. As a matter of fact, I haven't had to buy a deodorant or soap in years because I make it myself and it's actually good for you. And I also do the YouTube. So I don't have a lot of time to kind of go around and just sit and watch boxes. And if you do it, that's good. You know, a couple of places. Check antique shops. Check flea markets. Check the pawn shops. You never know where you might find something. Wait, what do I do for a living? Yeah, my main job is I am a licensed massage therapist. I've been a licensed massage therapist since October 31st, Halloween of 1995. My first massage was January 23rd, 1996. I have been a karaoke DJ since my first party that I did, which was New Year's of 1998, going into 1999. And yes, we played Party Like It's 1999 from Prince. Yeah, I walked away for a second. But I also make the organic soaps and things like that. I have a little shop where I sell these things. Like I said, some of these, I make pyramids and things like that. So it's a hobby. It's fun to do. So for me, it's like I don't work 9 to 5. I used to do that stuff. To me, I don't want to spend all of my days working. Most of my time, I'm home. I think my average work week, like I just got another DJ job starting next week, working Saturdays. So I'll be working Thursdays and Saturdays, 4 hours each time, so that's 8 hours. Every other Tuesday, I do a trivia night, which is 2 hours. And then maybe about 2 or 3 hours worth of massages during the week. So my average work week is about 10 hours a week. So I'm no millionaire or anything like that, but I get to spend my time at home. I get to make YouTube videos all the time. I don't have to worry about a deadline. I like the fact of having a life where it's just different every day. I've done that grind. I used to work for TWA, which to us it stood for the wrong airline. And I did that whole get up in the morning, take the train, commute into the city, go in your little cubicle, answer the phones, and then come home. To me, that's just boring. My wife, she works at night. So while I'm here doing these videos, she's actually at work right now. So she's probably watching one of my videos. So if she's watching, this is a message for you. And we just get along and we just do things in just a typical not 9 to 5 family. So I like being in all different places all the time. I like when things are different. So to each their own. Let me see. Hoth Rebel 86 said, "Did you ever get into collecting trading cards?" I used to years ago collect a whole bunch of baseball cards. I used to love collecting rookie cards. I have a bunch of minor league cards. Let me show you one of the things I got that I still have to this day. Give me a second. Unfortunately, the glass on the frame broke, but this is an uncut sheet of Topps basketball cards for the entire series. Tim Duncan's rookie card is on here. Kobe Bryant's rookie card is on here. A bunch of others from that year. I would have to look. But I used to have a whole bunch of stuff like this. I haven't shown this. I don't think anybody's ever seen that before. But yeah, I used to have, I still have them. They're in my storage unit. Like literally tens of thousands of baseball cards. I think I'm probably secretly a hoarder. So people say all the time, how come you have all these comics and you get 3, 4, 5, 10 of the same copy? And it's like, how come you don't sell any of them? And I think, yeah, I'm probably a borderline hoarder. But at least I hoard, like, valuable things. Like, my wife and I used to watch those hoarder shows. And, I mean, there are people literally garbage everywhere. At least if I'm going to hoard something, it's going to eventually bring me some money. So I've always loved antiques. I used to have a bigger Star Wars collection, but that got stolen as well. Jason says, I like your YouTube videos. I've gotten a lot of good information from them. Thank you. I appreciate that. Corey says, when he got up and walked away, could see it in the TV. Could see what? I don't know. Oh, yeah. That's one of my smaller TVs. I have a bigger TV in the bedroom. It's a 60-inch 4K TV. Actually got a really good deal on it. You can get those fairly cheap. I only paid like $350 for it, and I love it. Oh, thank you, White Nova. Yeah, that die cut. Let me see the checklist. I know Kobe Bryant's rookie card, Tim Duncan. I mean, I've had this since the year it came out. I mean, I got a bunch of Shaquille O'Neal rookie cards. I have like Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez's minor league cards. I used to collect all that stuff. Will says, so you're an organized hoarder. I don't know about that, but I'm definitely not one of those where the entire house is flooded with garbage everywhere. I mean, that's, you know, that's not cool. And my wife doesn't let me get that out of hand anyway, but that's one of the reasons why I have a storage facility. That wasn't my idea, but I'm glad she did that for me. I mean, my wife is incredible, but I think I grew up very poor. My family struggled. My parents got divorced when I was 10, and my mother, you know, back then you didn't get child support and you didn't sue for it. So my mother had to raise basically 2 kids on her own. So we went with not having a lot. So it kind of made me appreciate every little thing I could get, and it also made me, you know, prepare for the future just in case, because you never know. So, I mean, I have gold and silver coins, gold, silver bars. I collect the baseball cards. I had a bunch of signed memorabilia. And then after a while, when I was single, I mean, I was buying full-size arcade machines. There used to be one of those basketball free-throw things there. I mean, my house was the party house. In my other room, there were like 3 or 4 stand-up arcades, 3 or 4 electronic slot machines, a tabletop arcade machine that I bought that was like $3,000. There was a full-size skeet ball table. I remember New Year's Eve parties here. People would stay for days. And we'd get a little drunk, but I don't do that stuff anymore. But, yeah, I used to collect everything. I just love doing it, especially signed merchandise. I have a Michael Jordan signed jersey. I don't know if it's authentic or not because I bought it years ago and I actually didn't have it signed myself, but that's my pride and joy. I have like hundreds of LeBron James's like high school basketball cards before he became a pro. They're somewhere in the storage facility, so it's a lot of fun. Corey Maxwell says, you have any honorable mentions? As far as what? You'd have to be a little more specific. And Anime 10100 says, woohoo, gold and silver. Yeah, I actually have a video on this channel where I show some of my gold and silver coins. I only show, like, literally, like, 1/100th of what I have. But I literally probably have 2,000 ounces worth of silver and probably 15 to 16 ounces of gold. You know, I always, you know, prepared and be diversified. And that's one of the reasons, like, even with my comic books, I tend to buy ones that have potential value. Let's see. Jeff Gunther says, do people still care about sports cards? They always are. I mean, I'll show you a couple other things really quick. Sports cards I have nearby. These actually are, these are pretty valuable, these. I'll show you a couple. This is, I don't know what grading service it is, but I keep it in there because it's in good condition. This is an Alex Rodriguez 1993 classic. Again, I don't know who the company is, but it's graded a Gem Mint 10. So this is before he ever hit the majors in 93. Let's see. This one I'm not sure, but PSA always had the problem. That was the biggest thing. But I've had these since I was younger. This is Ricky Williams 2000 rookie card, PSA 10. This is one I absolutely love. This is Legends 1997 Masters of rookie card of Tiger Woods, 9.5. I got a bunch of this stuff. This is one I actually got I sent this in to get graded myself. This is a 1998 Peyton Manning Rookies Master Preview. So this is before he was ever playing for the Colts. And that came back, this was SGC. This came back a Mint 9. And then I got a bunch of the 10 of the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards. And this one's one of my favorites. I have the complete set of 89 Upper Deck. Oh, that's not tennis cards. It's actually a golf card. This is Tiger Woods. So, yeah, this was back in the days when he used to be good. But that's just some of the stuff I have. I mean, I love collecting memorabilia. You know, for me, even if, you know, I don't make money off of them, I would rather spend my money on something I can get some kind of return on. Because if you go out drinking and partying or going to strip clubs or, you know, even going to the movies and stuff, that money's gone forever. You don't get it back. You know, good luck if you go to a bar and drink like $100 worth of beer with your friends and partying. That money's gone. So I always used to love investing in things, and it just became a passion. Then I started reading some of the comics, and I absolutely loved them. I think the artwork is amazing because my grandfather's an artist, and I wish I had that talent. But I mean, look at these covers. I mean, I wish I could do this artwork, but I don't have that talent. This is one of the books I showed earlier. This is Walking Dead 19, First Michonne, signed by Robert Kirkman. I mean, I honestly would not have the patience to be able to draw a comic book. To just repeatedly do the same thing over and over again. I'm just one of those people. I think that's why I have so many different jobs that I do, and I absolutely love every one of them. Because I'm the type of person that gets bored very easily. And that's why it took me until I was 40 before I found the right person to spend the rest of my life with and get married. Because before that, I didn't want to get married. Because people, after a while, I'd just get bored. And then I just kind of move on. And it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just something about me. But I like doing different things. So yeah, I do a lot of comics on here. But like I said, I have the coins, I have baseball cards. I collected, you know, arcade machines at one point. To me, it's all about having fun and following your passions. And just letting the road take you where you're going to go. It's almost like so many people are just in their car doing the same thing over and over again instead of just getting in the car and driving. I mean, I remember this time probably 15 years ago where I was talking to some girl online, didn't know who she was, never met her before. It was the first time talking. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and in the middle of the conversation, she says, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And I said, "I don't know. Why?" She's like, "Well, I live upstate, and there's this big festival. You want to come and hang out and see it?" So I was like, "How far away is it?" Found out it's about a 6-hour drive. I was like, "You know what? Sure." So I got in my car, drove 6 hours upstate, met this girl. There was this big racetrack where they had concerts and like a festival going on. And I remember the group Drowning Pool, you know, the song "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor." So I don't know what year that came out, but it was that year I saw them. We were first center stage watching this concert, and I was like, that's what I used to do. I used to love it, just getting in the car and just driving, having no responsibility. And the people that live the 9-to-5 job, I mean, people basically spend their whole lives making other people wealthy and making just enough to be aggravated for one more day. And, you know, like I said, as you can see, I'm not living in the lap of luxury. I mean, this is an older house, what you could see with the wonderful wood paneling. But to me, it's like I enjoy spending most of my time being able to be home, spending it with my wife instead of being at work all day. Doing all these different jobs allows me to be able to get money to be able to buy some of these books. Because people say, you know, how do you have a wife that lets you do this? And I'm like, well, like I said, I don't go drinking. I don't go out partying. I don't go clubbing. I don't go to strip clubs. I don't basically go anywhere. The money that I use is either to pay bills, and I make sure all the bills are paid first, and then the money I have left over, I buy some of these collections with the potential value of having a return for them in some day. Because eventually, like I said in another video, eventually I'm going to sell these. Because I don't want to be one of those people that you take it to a grave. And since we don't have any kids, I don't have anything to leave to anybody. So I'm like, I want to enjoy it at some point. So like I said, I think between 55 and 60, I've decided I'll probably sell all my comics, or at least the major ones at that point. Use that money to maybe travel around the world or get a nice house in the Bahamas or something. I want to retire on an island. But I could never do that 9-to-5. The last time I had a 9-to-5 job was in 1993. That was the last time I had the typical 9-to-5 job. Since 1993, I've basically worked part-time and enjoyed life, and I don't regret anything. To me, I don't have to have millions of dollars to be a success. Corey says, hate 9-to-5. I get to come in and go as I please and like it. Yeah, and that's the same thing. I mean, how many people would be able to make a comic book video at 4 o'clock in the morning? You know, I can fall asleep around 5 o'clock in the morning. I usually sleep until about 11 to 12, but you'll also see I get up at like 7, 8, 9 o'clock and post another video. And I could thank my cats for that because they love to wake me up, and I figure while I'm up, I might as well. But to me, the best advice I can give to anybody is just enjoy your life. If you're spending your whole life being on like one of those little hamster wheels, and all you're doing is making other people money, so you make a bunch of money that'll ultimately get you a nice grave for your funeral, then you're not really living. So have fun with whatever you do. The problem is there are some people that are just so unhappy that they feel they have to vent it out on other people. But they spend their whole lives being angry. And that's why, like, you learn from your lessons and you become a person that grows. So if you hate your job, don't ever say you're stuck. There's always something better around the corner waiting for you to find it. And if you spend your whole life sitting there waiting for it to find you, you'll be spending your whole life, and one day you'll close your eyes for the last time and realize everything just passed me by. So I'm going to end the video right there because this is already an hour long, and I know how much people love my long videos. But at least I didn't get into some massive tirade, and you learned a little bit more about me. The fact that it's 4 o'clock in the morning and 40 people are watching right now is absolutely amazing, so thank you for that. I hope you enjoyed the little bonuses of other things that I have around here. And if you give the thumbs up, I always appreciate it. And I'm going to do one more surprise subscriber shout-out, since I already did one. And we're going to give it to Knights of Old. I actually like that name. So Knights of Old, you have the second surprise subscriber shout-out. And James Ewing says, I'm retired from the military, never had a 9-to-5. Stick with that, man. I'm telling you, I tell people all the time, don't do the 9-to-5 living in the hamster wheel. And Rob says, Chris, I enjoy your channel. Do you plan on making a video on affordable keys under 50? All of my videos that talk about books under 100, most of them you could probably get under 70, under 50, some of them under 20. So check those out. Rob says, I'll take a shout out. So there you go. Rob, that's for you. All of a sudden, people are coming on. Putters says, I'm not even going to talk about that person. He's one of those people that has this major problem with me, which I don't really understand. To each their own. I mean, I have no ill will towards him. He pretended to be a friend at one point. To each their own. So, I'm sorry if he did something to you. I have nothing to say about that individual. But if you like him or anybody else likes him, hey, I would never tell somebody to not subscribe to somebody just because if I don't like somebody or have a problem with somebody, doesn't mean I would stop you from liking them. And some people feel the need to, you know, be a bully towards me. And I think that's why some people are even afraid to do a video, like if I did tag videos, because if you did a We Love Comics video, you'd get a thumb down. It's just how some people are. I'm sorry to hear he hasn't replied. Maybe he's busy. You know, keep at it. Now, he does, as far as I know, he does have a family. So, you know, maybe, you know, God forbid, maybe some kind of situation's happening that prevents it. So just keep at him, and hopefully he'll get in touch with you. But if he doesn't, I'm sorry to hear that. And people shouldn't have contests if they're not going to honor it. But you never know. It might have been a family emergency. He might have had his electricity shut down. Who knows? But hopefully they'll fix it and he'll do the right thing. So with that being said, thank you very much. Like I said, please, if you can, give the support and give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. To all of you that live all around the world, in the comments section, post where you're from. I want people to know that people come from all over the world just to watch my channel, and that means a lot to me. So I know there's people here from Canada, people from Australia, all over the world. So make your presence known. Let us know where you're from. And yeah, there you go. Anime from Canada. We get a bunch of people from Canada. And I really appreciate it. So thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. And don't forget, it's not you, it's not I, it's We Love Comics. Good night, everybody. In about another hour from now, I'll finally get some sleep. Peace.